Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Money has been pouring into XRP this year on an institutional level, and especially ever since XRP acquired legal clarity here in the United States. There's been a particularly large uptick. And a couple of the bigger names that we were expecting to get back in, well, one of them did, and there's another one that I think will, and it's the bigger, more consequential one in terms of the amount of XRP money that we expect to flow into XRP. But Bitwise is back. You may recall that at the end of 2020, right after the SEC sued Ripple, effectively attacking all XRP holders, Bitwise was like, "Whoop, we out. That was it." And it's hard to blame these entities. I know we like to see it when there's firms like Uphold, which just refused to bow to the SEC, and they had a true spine there. But still, I've been pretty sympathetic to the firms out there that halted the trading of XRP or delisted it at least temporarily until there was some sort of legal clarity, because who knows the degree to which they could financially harm an attack if the SEC comes after them. They got to look out there for their employees, the well-being, all that stuff, and the fiduciary responsibility. Okay. But I've been saying for the longest damn time that once there's legal clarity, that would be one thing that would result in the floodgates opening. And we are beginning to see that here. And so I want to report that positive news. I'll give you the specifics in a second here. But also a little bit of a concern. Have you guys seen what's happening with Binance US? Mass layoffs, including key executives, including the risk officer, their chief risk officer. And there are all sorts of people speculating that Binance US is probably going to cease to exist because this really isn't looking good. So I don't know if that's true. But I don't, because I don't have any sort of insider information. But I will tell you that this is alarming regardless. I wish them the best, certainly. But this is alarming. It's happening, I think, probably just about entirely as a result of the SEC attacks against it. And it's just another friendly reminder here to maybe engage in self-custody. Maybe consider doing that. If you've got a crypto on any exchange, but notably Binance US, given the news that's breaking here, might want to rethink that. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. And so just to set the table a little bit here, this is a CoinDesk article from December 23rd, 2020. So this is one day after the SEC sued Ripple. One day. And the headline is, Bitwise liquidates XRP position in crypto index fund following SEC suit against Ripple. Crypto money manager Bitwise has liquidated $9.3 million worth of XRP in its crypto index fund. The firm acted shortly after the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission sued the token's alleged creator, Ripple Labs Inc., for conducting an unregistered and ongoing securities offering. And here's a quote. This is from the firm. Prior to the sale of the asset on December 22nd, 2020, XRP was approximately 3.8% of the fund. The fund liquidated its position and reinvested the proceeds in other portfolio assets. End quote. So, folks, I'd long held that it's not the case that Bitwise wanted an excuse to get rid of XRP. No, they want the opportunity, and there was demand from their customers for this. They wanted to hold XRP. They were just reducing risk as they saw fit. That was pretty much all there was to it. That's why I stated that they would eventually bring it back. And we've been seeing a ton of money flowing. In fact, here, this is NASDAQ's website with this headline. XRP attracts institutional investors, sees 127% asset growth. And then they have, I don't want to read the whole article, but they have this bullet point here, which I think is the most consequential one. Institutional interest in XRP products has increased by 127% in 2023 due to positive outcome in SEC v. Ripple lawsuit. And so again, this is what I kept saying for years leading up to this, literally years leading up to this. That's how long we had to deal with this BS. The floodgates would open once XRP had legal clarity, and it doesn't mean, obviously, we have the benefit of hindsight here. It didn't mean that XRP was just going to instantly ramp up to a new all-time high or something like that. But it is now unshackled. Retail investors are not going to be scared for that reason to jump into XRP anyway. From an institutional perspective, the money has been pouring in. And then as there's more interest as time passes and more institutional level entities jump in, you better believe that they're going to make sure that XRP is a piece of what they're holding. Absolutely they will. And I actually came across this because I haven't seen any crypto media articles about this yet. But I want to thank Frecky for tagging me in this. This is how I found out about this. But he wrote, "This has happened." And he's referencing one of his posts from April 16th this year, which reads as follows. "What we do know is for U.S. institutions, example Bitwise and Grayscale, they removed XRP from all their index funds. That's due to SEC. Those firms get clarity. They will reload all those trusts and index funds in the United States, plus new institutions that have been waiting. That's huge." And he was right. And so that's what's happening to this point. And Frecky, he actually does work in finance. He's actually been in crypto since 2011. So he's in the know and he understands all this stuff. He knows people. He knew that this would be the result. And this is what we've seen so far. And so Bitwise, they are officially back. And here, actually, I got their website pulled up. Here, let me scroll on. This is the ticker symbol for this index fund is BITW. Here, I can scroll down to it. Here's the list. So you can see XRP as far as the weighted percent, it's 3.3%. So the percentage is less than what it was when they liquidated it, but not wildly off. And they change this stuff from time to time for whatever internal reasons they may have. It's very, and so I know 3.3% might not seem like a lot, but they're doing what a lot of these firms do, which is they just go real super heavy on Bitcoin and Ethereum. And honestly, if not for the fact that XRP were under salt for over 2.5 years, who knows? Who knows what that would be weighted as? Would that be instead like 10% or 20%? Who knows what would have happened with XRP and all the additional developer activity, all that stuff? We don't know. But it's not unreasonable to speculate that that percentage might have been a lot higher. Now, this firm, they're definitely not a nothing. Where's the assets under management? I saw it. I think it was like 400 and something million. Yeah, here it is. So they have $448 million dollars worth of assets under management. But then there's Grayscale. So Grayscale did the same thing. When the lawsuit came down a few years back, they got rid of their Grayscale XRP trust. Just went bye-bye. It's gone. And it's not back yet. Now, I don't know why it's not back yet. But this would be a bigger deal for them because they have $22 billion, over $22 billion in assets under management. So way, way, way more than Bitwise. This would be a much bigger deal. Again, this is just one firm. There are all sorts of big firms that should be getting into it. But also understand that Grayscale has been dealing with the SEC. They just won a lawsuit against the SEC, and they're trying to get a spot Bitcoin ETF. So they've got their hands full kind of here. And so I actually wrote to Frecky because in sharing this news, he wrote, "This has happened," meaning Bitwise is back with XRP. XRP has been added back into Bitwise Fund BITW. Great to see. As I said previously, then he tagged me along with a few others. And so I wrote to him and I said, "Yes, great news indeed. Now, what's stopping Grayscale from doing the same?" And Frecky said, "Could be many things, but also could simply be focusing on GBTC conversion /SEC right now, since they are in the middle of that, which is the most important item for Grayscale." Yeah, and so I was internally thinking that, and I actually had mentioned that from time to time in the past, because I certainly have taken note that Grayscale has not added XRP, but I don't know why they wouldn't at some point in the future. So if it's not the priority, okay. I was hoping that they could walk and chew gum at the same time, but fine. If not, they got their hands full. This is a big deal with the spot Bitcoin ETF. I understand. But I still think it's going to come back. It's not like they hated XRP and wanted to get rid of it. No, they were not happy with the SEC, just like nobody else was because of this tremendous overreach. That's all I'm saying. So I think it's coming back, but I mean, you can only imagine what this is going to mean by the time we hit, the next euphoria stage in crypto when markets really come roaring back. That's going to be fun because XRP will properly participate this time, unlike last market cycle because of the SEC. Now into this, and this is alarming. And I don't know if it means that Binance is going to be in trouble, but just anytime I see anything like this, I pay attention because I'm like, I've seen this movie before. Sometimes when, at a cryptocurrency exchange, you start to see a bunch of bad headlines. Sometimes where there's smoke, there's fire. And I'm not saying because Binance US even necessarily did anything wrong. It's more like they've been heavily attacked and monetarily compromised as a result. Who knows internally what that has meant for them, but they're laying off a ton of people. So my understanding is that from what they've said anyway, all assets are backed. But you know what? Doesn't matter. Like any cryptocurrency exchange, regardless of how much I like them, I'm not going to leave my crypto on their platform. So I'm just saying, since crypto's wild, you never know for sure what's going to happen. A year ago, if you said that FTX was a Ponzi scheme and about to collapse, everybody would have laughed you out of the room. They said, "No, that's bonkers. That's crazy. FTX, are you kidding me?" And that was just 1 year ago. So don't think just because something sounds wild, it can't happen. But I'm not saying this to induce fear in people. It's more like, here's the news. Do with it what you will. I say it makes sense in general to exercise caution. That's pretty much it. So here's a headline from the block. Binance US legal executive, chief risk officer leave the exchange. Wall Street Journal. Binance US is losing additional executives as pressure mounts from regulators, according to the Wall Street Journal. Krishna Juvati, head of legal, and Sydney Majela, chief risk officer, are leaving the exchange, the Wall Street Journal reported, citing people familiar with the departures. Now, folks, what is alarming people is what their titles are. Head of legal and chief risk officer. They're like, bye, we're leaving. And we don't know the terms of that. I mean, maybe they actually got booted. But they're gone. So again, chief risk officer, that sounds important. Head of legal also sounds important. They're gone. That's why people are flipping out. And this was already after news broke that really wasn't good in terms of the state of things over at Binance US. So check out the rest of this. This comes just days after the head of Binance US, Brian Schroeder, left the firm with a third of its staff laid off. The exchange has scaled back operations following the Securities and Exchange Commission's lawsuit against Binance filed in June. Quote, the SEC's aggressive attempts to cripple our industry and the resulting impacts on our business have real-world consequences for American jobs and innovation, and this is an unfortunate example of that. End quote. So that was just a spokesperson from the block reporting that. So do what you will with this information. I just wanted to make sure that it was cited on my channel in a hot jam. And now I've done that. I've done my piece. You do with this information what you will, if anything. But I will not keep my cryptocurrencies on exchange. Hell no. Crypto's wild, man. And again, nothing like I hate that Binance US has been attacked like this. I have an account with Binance US. Using them has always been a pretty darn pleasurable experience. I like their platform. I like the interface. It just works. But I'm not keeping anything on. I'm not keeping anything on any exchange. But just watch out. Just watch out for yourself. That's all that I'm saying. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.